land, here we go again. It's Wednesday the 25th. Back on the floor. Hopefully this will go quicker than the first half did. I've kind of figured out what I'm doing, and that, you know, you can put these in one piece at a time, although it's a little tricky, but if you're flying solo, it's kind of the way to go. So I've moved everything, well, most everything, over to here. Got a little cleanup to do. I got to fill that hole, and we're not going to go all the way to the back of the bus, but we'll get down the hallway here on this next run. But I have to reroute this wire. This was a temporary wire for the air conditioner. That's got to go down the same hole as the rest of the plumbing. And I got to finish this front piece here where the bin for 12,000 super chair is going to go, aka Mama's seat. I had to dig all the way back to episode 3 to find this. This is the Ford Transit reclining seat with heat and back massage and all the good stuff. So we'll get that hole fixed, get that wood cut, and I'll bring you guys back. Reroute electrical wiring? Check. Fill in giant hole in the floor? Check. Plywood sheeting on the front of the bus for the bin for 12,000 super seat with copious amounts of blood? Check. You don't stab yourself in the finger with a drill. It hurts. More tile down. I foresee some possible issues. Maybe not. Maybe we get lucky. But this piece doesn't go all the way to the door jamb. But luckily there's a seam right there in the corner. So that means this seam's going to line up probably about here in this corner. So maybe I can put this piece in here, scooch it that way. It wasn't I don't know. Hopefully we can do something like that, because yeah, that door jamb's going to suck. But the rest of it should go about as well as the rest of it went, to be honest, which wasn't terrible. Like I say, she still looks good. I'm happy with it. Time lapse here. We should have a lot less crack endeavors. I'm wearing my XLTs. I have to have the extra tall shirts because the other ones they don't do it. So anyhow, here we go. Trying to figure out how I was going to do it, and it ended up popping in. So here's what we got. We've got this threshold seam, and all I did is I cut it a little oversized there because that's going to get covered up by the wall anyways. And I tipped it in like I said. And so for this one, what we're going to try and do is attach it and slide this whole piece about a 1/4 inch that way, because I should have enough gap in that to scooch it. Tip this one down and then push these two back, and it should lock everything into place if all goes well. Alright, here goes nothing. Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts.
Boy, and I did not forget my knee pads. Man, I'll tell you, that day after that, I was ruined. Yeah, we gotta taparoo this one.
Tap it in. Just tap it in.
I don't know how it went, but it did. Oh yes. Oh, like butter. And it's not even curdled butter. She popped in at the last second. Alright, so let's push the whole thing this way. You guys hopefully will see it do the thing. Oh, yes. Perfecto! Yep, that worked like a champ. Yeah, I'm just under the door jambs there. I'm a little wider there than I'd like to be, but again, once I put the wall and then the piece of trim, that will all be covered. Nums, back at it. We're finishing this front half tonight. This is happening. So I apologize for the black line rolling light thing, but this has got to happen. Here we are, the next day, and this is why I don't trust math when doing projects of this nature, because I cut those in half, right down the middle, and mathematically, I should have ended up on the same spot, but as you can see, I've got a bigger gap on this side. The only thing I can feature is I included that lip, but I'm 95% sure I did not include this little 1/8 inch piece, but anyhow, yeah, we're uneven again. This is why I knew I should have just ran them all the way across one row and just made sure that's how it was going to line up, because that's too big of a gap. I can't just shift this floor because of this door jamb. So yeah, we're gonna have a little wider strip on the passenger side, but you know, it's gonna have to do. I'm not taking all this up. That is not happening. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this this up. I'm gonna get down. I'm not gonna go into the bedroom. I think the bedroom's gonna go in last. I just want to get this floor in so I can start getting some walls in and get this kitchen going, because the kitchen is gonna be it's going to be as rough as the bathroom, I'm sure, if not worse, because I got a hang cabinet. So anyhow, let's get going. All right, we finally achieved yesterday's goal today. So basically from the bathroom forward, the flooring is done. Yep, she goes in there. I wish I should have cleaned all this up and done the big angelic music, but that's okay. I can visualize it, and it's in. And I've got my 1/4 inch spacing like I'm supposed to. A little bummed that, you know, this side's a little wider than the driver's side, but not by much. It's only a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. Not too bad. It'll work. But again, that's why I don't always trust math. It should work out, but yeah, it doesn't always seem to do that for me. That's why I'm better off just laying the pieces out and marking where I gotta cut it. Anyhow, I think it's time to start putting a wall up here. So we're gonna get going on that. It's Friday, 26th, 7th? I can't remember, something like that. It's the end of October. It is colder than a witch's tit out here today. Holy crap. It actually got below freezing last night, so I did come out and start the bus up. God bless her, she just fires right up. She just don't care. Very pleased. Doing the wall, finally. I was gonna do the back wall, but I gotta go over to Home Depot and get some insulation for this window. So, rather than have a bunch of downtime, we're gonna go ahead and put this wall in. And hope nothing big has to go in there after the vanity, because she no fit. That's only a 28-inch door that I cut down. So here we go. My original plan was to screw this bottom board down, but then the floor can't move. So this piece here is just screwed into the wall and the stud, and it's going to float. It's actually, this wall is going to hang from this board as much as it can, just to keep the weight off the floor so it can move. Had that epiphany after I drilled all the pocket holes. I went, wait a minute, if I screw this down, this floor can't move. Crap, it is cold. There's still ice on everything. Ah, crap. This is why things take so long, guys. It's constantly rounding up tools. And I try to have enough that I can have stuff at one station and have it at the other place and doing the thing, but inevitably I move stuff around. So in some instances I still think it's easier to use dimensional lumber, not necessarily traditional usage, but the downside, one of these boards, which one is it? Oh, it's this one. This thing, boy, I don't know if you can see that. It is all over the map. It's got a big one like halfway down, totally. I really need a fourth one, but it's going to be a very wonky cut. And I actually have the perfect board for it because it is so warped it'll actually contour to the side of the bus. So that's going to be the end one. Whew, let's get back in here to some heat. Holy crap. Not that it's a ton warmer in here because this heater wasn't on last night. Oh, but she's putting out heat now. Whew. So these all got to go back out anyways. Whew. Because we got to drill the little doodads. I hear running water. I don't even have any water hooked up. Oh, because she's draining. Good thing I put this in an open bay. Whew, yeah, it is cold, guys. It's not just cold, it's suffocating cold. All right, here we go. Okay, back to the bus. One thing you didn't see yesterday was we added the shower light inside up there. Hopefully you can see it. And I figured out how to keep these things from popping out. It's actually pretty simple. I just bent those little metal tabs out a little bit more. That one's not coming out. I can't even get it out with my hands now. So, hopefully that'll do the trick. We need to get the other square. So another thing is, for most stuff I was using this goop, this the hell they call that? Liquid nails. I have a feeling this wall may have to come apart again, so we're not going all in. I don't know why I have that my spidey sense is just tingling on that. But yeah, we're building this, so God forbid I have to take this wall apart. It can come apart. All right, we got those three in. I'm gonna double one up, I think, on here, because this is where my seam's gonna go. So I want each board to have its own deal. I know I mentioned it. I don't think I showed it. No. Yeah, this door. I had to take this door not all the way out. I left this side in, but we had to take all this off and square it up. It just wasn't. It wasn't shutting right for whatever reason. So we redid that. Got some better shims in it. And I talked about the light. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're gonna go cut one more, and then we got to do something over here. We'll get it going. Got this wall, and like I say, it's a floating wall. The bottom is not screwed in. It's screwed to the walls, and the weight's gonna be carried by this upper beam, which hopefully you can see. So we did get a piece of foam insulation in the window, and gonna do this last little side piece here with this one. As you can see, I just drilled some holes and ran some Teks wood to metal screws through it, and yeah, that ain't going anywhere. So I think that's gonna hold up nicely, because again, we're just using, the heck is it, 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch wood paneling as our material for our walls. I need a bonk stick. That feels pretty good. Couldn't pass up that big old tub of screws. It was on clearance, so I got that whole thing for the price of a small box. Should be nice. Oh yeah, nice and solid. All right, guys, it's Sunday. We had to take a little mental health day yesterday because, yeah, this was pissing me off. So we're putting the furring strips on the side. My issue, hopefully you guys can see, because I can't. Trying to screw these in. These are the Teks wood to metal, but they won't drill through this metal for whatever reason. I mean, they will, but I'll burn through 2 or 3 of them. So I'm having to pre-drill. My other issue is this is the exterior piece of metal, so I can't punch through that. So I have to have a screw short enough to not go through that, but still long enough to catch these. So what I was having to do was kind of sink these in a little bit to get it to catch. This one I was able to just kind of force it. But it's proven to be tricky, so I'm having a pre-drill, which, you know, everybody's kind of said is necessary on these stainless steel buses, but I don't think that's stainless. Maybe it is, maybe that's why I'm having such trouble, but we went and got some Milwaukee bits. These are 1/8 inch, because these are number 10s. So they say to use a 1/8 inch for wood. Well, I'm drilling into metal, so we're gonna see how this shakes out. If it works, I'll leave all this footage in. Boy, that sure punched through a lot easier than I have been. My other bits are dull. I really don't think those are big enough. I think I'm gonna have to use the next size up. Maybe. I think I'm gonna have to pre-drill the next size up, because what happens, you'll get this thing in here and it'll snap the damn screw completely off. And it happened somewhere over there. That's why you see 3 holes. Oh, that actually worked. So 1/8 inch it is. Good stuff. Wow, that really sunk that one in. This wood seems to be a lot softer. Good stuff. All right. So yeah, that's the trick. Pre-drill with a 1/8 inch if you're using these number 10 Teks screws. And I mean, it just is touching the surface of this this exterior metal. I wish they had just a, you know, 1.25 inches. Trying to find wood to metal screws, you're pretty much locked in 1.5 or 2.5. Everbuilt makes a 2 inch, but even that one was too long. Well, the inspectors are here to inspect our progress, or lack thereof, over the last couple of days. I had to work on the other trailer because we got another trip to Texas coming. It needs to be ready. So anyhow, we're back on the bus today. It's Thursday, the 2nd. I'm kind of in a hurry, so I didn't film any of this wall paneling going up. This is, you know, 1/8 inch fiber board, for lack of a better term. And I'm going this route, you know, to conserve space, because, you know, a 1/2 inch on each side is 1 inch, and believe me, I'm gonna need that inch when it comes to the bedroom door. The only thing I wanted to point out was, you know, I'm fishing my wires through. This is number 12, which is, in a household setting, it's required because you're pulling a lot of amperage with a blow dryer, curling irons, all that. So I'm running 12 in here, and it's tough to work with. It's very thick. It's not very flexible. It doesn't look much different than, you know, 14, but it definitely behaves different. So that's about the only nuance really going in. Like I say, these panels are 1/8 inch, and when it comes time for outlets and stuff like that, it's a pain in the ass. I can't even clean that up. You can't use the kind that have the little wings that flip up and pull it tight in drywall, because this stuff's too thin. It'll just rattle around. So if you're going to use this thin of a wall panel, you're going to have to get creative. I've been using these external mounts like this one, where it just pokes out about a 1/2 inch. And that's, you know, I didn't want to do it over here, but we got to do it over here, because running the power on this wall is not an option. I'm still not positive where this vanity's going, so I brought the wires down in this big hole up here so I can slide this thing left and right. Or, you know, I hope it doesn't come to it, but I got to turn it sideways or something else. I wanted it below that level. So anyhow, we're going to get back to cracking, and I'll do an update here in a bit. we got this really nice medicine cabinet with, you know, electrical outlets and USB chargers and the tip out drawer on the bottom. Really nice. Too big. She won't fit. I mean, I could make it fit, but then I won't have room for a vanity light. And it was just going to create a bunch of problems. So I'm hoping we can mount that on that wall over there. And I went and got the little smaller Glacier Bay medicine cabinet to go over the sink. So, you know, we had lofty dreams when we bought the other one. Oh, trying to get the contour of this roof has been a pain since day one. And I should have did this a long time ago. So basically I just put a piece of plywood that I had with scrap. And I got me a piece of wood here and I just follow it along with my pencil. And I'm going to cut that line and that'll be my template for this profile. Hopefully it works. It ain't the prettiest thing, but it'll have to do. Man, oh man. This has been a rough week. I haven't gotten too much done, but we did get our first coat of paint down. I didn't film it because it's paint. But it definitely looks better white than the terrible brown. Wait for this to dry, we'll get another coat. I am going to try and get this put back together tonight, at least with the thing and the other thing, and it'll somewhat look like a bathroom. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're fighting the weather. It's been poopy off and on all week, and hard to do work outside since I put all the saws out there in the rain. Girls, here we are, the day after Turkey Day. We have really entered the struggle bus on this this project. I was hoping to have everything buttoned up and dialed in before we go on this trip to Texas, and I'm happy with how most of it came out. I really am digging this LED light up there. That's pretty spiffy. Let me get the camera out of the way there. I'm happy with how that turned out. The electrical's fine. These walls. I knew I am not a texture guy, but man, you can really see I have sanded this seam right through here time and time again. I'm trying different products, just trying to hide that seam, and it's constantly cracking through here. You know, I guess I'm gonna have to sand it down and maybe try some tape, like drywall tape, and see if I can do something with that. I mean, it's going to be behind the door, but I'm just not happy with how I can see that seam, and some of my screws are showing. Just not real pleased, and I'm not going to button this up and call it good. I got to figure it out, because we've got a whole lot more bust to side, and I really want to use this paneling. I don't like the looks of shiplap or some of the other products that people are doing. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, but it's not going to be till after the new year, because I'm pretty much booked up until then. I can't half-ass it, so back to the drawing board. Anyhow, guys, yeah, I think I'm going to go close this out so I can get something published before I leave in a few days. But I appreciate you watching.